Hey everyone! You're listening to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels, unless we're celebrating a milestone, which we are. Today we have a special episode for you celebrating our 4th Podiversary. Get ready for Erin's State of the Podcast address, listener questions, and fuck, marry, kills. We had to cut a bit for time, so if you're a patron, you'll be getting those extras in your Patreon feed, as well as the video in full this week. Enjoy! We're cooking with gas today, Erin. We're professionals.
We already did professionalism. What year was professionalism?
Professionalism in 2019.
Yeah, professionalism in 2019. Intellectualism in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Remembering things in 2021, which we just did.
We just did for you right now,
Yeah.
on the fly, I will have you know.
The state of the podcast. Hey, happy Podiversary.
Happy Podiversary.
Happy Podiversary, year 4. Year 4 of Heaving Bosoms.
Wow, it's been 4 years.
Yep,
That's
4
crazy.
years.
The podcast is almost going to school.
Oh, yeah, we're preschool age now. You would think that by preschool age, we'd be better at reading comprehension, but we're not. All right. The state of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that I'm at a podium and I'm fumbling with some cards.
Yeah.
And I'm very nervous.
I'm with you.
And then I'm shaking. And then I see you in the audience.
Yeah.
And then I put the cards down and I say, I prepared something today.
But you're not going to use it.
But I'm not going to use it. Because today I just want to speak to from the heart about podcast. Last year, the state of the podcast, I opened up by defining lady love, the Merriam-Webster's definition of lady loves. Yeah. And then we said that the goal for this year would be to get lady loves into the dictionary.
Oh,
and
yeah. We didn't do that. That's okay.
Yeah. So that was one of the goals we didn't achieve.
Right.
Here are some other goals. Our slogan, remembering things in 2021.
Nailed it.
Knocked it out of the park. I think we did so good at remembering things.
I think so, too.
We only forgot, hero and heroine's names, twice.
I don't know, 4 times?
Probably. Twice to 4 times.
Not even that much.
We remembered a lot of things, mostly because of Natalie, but also because of us and how we put our brains to work at
because
remembering.
Of our good brains.
And we did, yes.
Yeah.
We knew right off the bat that this was our 4th Podiversary, which could not be said of the 3rd Podiversary when we couldn't remember if it was the 3rd or 4th.
It's true.
Or 2nd. Another goal, Heaving Bosoms World Tour. Big fail.
You know what? We're still in the pandemic.
You know what? Yeah.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
You know, I listened to last year's, the 2020 end of the because again, Heaving Bosoms does a fiscal year. We're a fiscal year, end of the year 2020
it's
podcast
October
would have been in October 2020. And it was very the pandemic fucked us this year, but next year, watch out, world. What a bunch of idiots.
Little did we know. People don't want to get vaccinated. Goddamn idiots.
But also, we didn't do any work toward a world tour. There was a pandemic. And, also, I'm going to be real, self-care-wise, I don't really want to go on a world tour right now. I'm feeling sleepy.
I've got a lot on my plate.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do a world tour.
It slowly, really lowered on the list of priorities.
Yeah.
But, someday we might have the bandwidth.
Maybe. I say we put it on the list of goals for 2022.
I think that sounds realistic.
Goal.
Realistic.
Yeah. 2022 is very realistic for the Heaving Bosoms World Tour.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, another goal. Scientists in 2022. It's lofty.
Scientists in 2022. It's going to happen.
This started on the Patreon. I don't remember in what capacity.
We were drunk.
But it is really
I was drunk.
We were drunk.
We were both drunk.
Was this when we tried to do the scientific method when we did the soulmate equation?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we did try to do that scientific method.
You just kept saying hypothesis and I kept saying control group. Like, we know those are part of it.
It's true.
Oof.
So, listen, I think that we can do it. I think
we can do it,
we're about
too.
a quarter of the way there already. And it's only the
Yeah.
start of this fiscal year for 2022.
Totally. Yeah.
Plus, we've got like really smart people on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Lo said she's going to tutor us.
She did. She has not said that.
I feel like she did.
I feel like she might, but she has not.
No, I feel like she said it.
Uh-huh.
Listen, I could be fanficking that in my brain.
Okay. All right.
But
okay.
I feel in my bones like she said it. Plus, like, we've hit every other one, you know, intellectualism. We got that
out of
one.
the park.
Oh, yeah.
That's when we did that pleasure book. We were very intellectual that year.
Oh, yeah. Well,
professionalism. We did that.
Professionalism. I mean, we're still doing that every day.
Well, it's a compounding goal.
Yes.
Like, once we're scientists, we're also intellectuals and professionals and whatever the other one was.
Whatever the other very remembery. Remembery? Was it people who remember things?
Maybe we didn't have a goal our first year.
No, we didn't. No, that started
That's
professionalism in 2019. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but we also are a quarter of the way to being scientists because we have a big ask. We have done a group project, Erin and I and Natalie and Susanna, and we have gotten together a survey. Listener?
Oh, hey! We're going to talk about what a good tie-in.
We're scientists. Scientists do surveys.
We're doing statistics.
We're doing a scientific statistics survey, and we need you to participate. As many of you as possible, even though we know there's only the one, and we love you dearly.
We love you, listener.
So we have a survey. It's going to go out on our social media. It's going to go out to our newsletter. It'll be just on our website somewhere. I'm certain of it. I could put it on our website somewhere. And the more of you who fill it out, the better we can make the show because we are scientists now.
Yeah, because we'll take that. What we'll do is we'll take that data.
Data. Yeah, all the data.
Which we know is a plural word.
Right.
And we will take that data, those datas.
And we'll collate
and we will, we'll do a collate.
And then we'll
put it
distill
into,
it.
Remember in the soulmate equation where there was that machine?
That big DNA machine?
We're going to put that right in that machine.
Exactly.
And it's going to churn out better podcasts.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Better quality podcasts.
Yeah, all of our beakers are going to be in a row, and they're going to be
wearing safety goggles.
There will be safety goggles. And then, ready, set, poof! Science! You get a better podcast.
Yeah.
So, we need you, listener, to fill out our survey. We've worked hard on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Successes. That is the noise that I've just now decided will denote segments in the State of the Podcast address. Last year when we did the State of the Podcast, we had just gotten Natalie. We had had Natalie for about a month.
Whoa.
Yeah, I would say swoosh, count it, Natalie, success.
Big success.
Big success.
Big giant success. And Natalie has grown her business so much since we were her first client.
Yes, Natalie has also had much successes.
Yeah, she's doing assistances for like famous authors and like all the shit. Super cool people. Are you author?
Natalie can help you. Are you self-published author? Natalie helps.
Or are you just human with a pulse?
Yeah.
Natalie can make your life better.
Hire Natalie as your personal digital assistant.
Hire Natalie.
All right. Last year on the State of the Podcast address, we talked about how much we enjoyed Mary's little videos that she was making. Out of the goodness of her heart for free. We are proud to say that this year Mary is on the payroll and is part of the Heaving Bosoms HQ team. And is churning out those videos constantly. And man, that has really helped our social media. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. And frankly, thank you for letting us pay you because she tried to say no. And I was like, Mary, I'm going to pay you for your fucking time or you're going to stop it. And she was like, gosh.
You guys, if you're not on our Instagram to see these Instagram reels that basically she takes like sound snippets from the podcast. Then she puts our little faces with like GIFs. And then sometimes she like animates things and they're hilarious. Like when we did He's All That and Melody was talking about how she likes to do backbends at parties.
Yeah.
She like did a thing of like Neo from the Matrix with like Melody's head at a party. It was so funny.
It was incredible.
It's so funny.
It was
you guys
incredible.
need to get on these Instagram reels.
She's a genius.
She's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, additionally, since last year, we did all this new Patreon stuff.
Yeah.
The
Patreon's hopping.
trivia and the book club. You talk about it because you do all of it.
Oh, yeah. So, well, Natalie does most of the trivia every month. She's done all of it so far, but I pop in sometimes. Every month she has like different themes and it's all like animated and it's like kazoodled or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah, kazoodled.
Yeah. It's on the kazoodle. That's not what it's called.
That's what
Kahoot.
No.
Kahoot.
Oh my God,
It's all
Kahoot.
kahooted. And
I
it's
have trauma from that trivia that we did on Kahoot with Sarah McLean and Jenny and everybody. But our Kahoot is better than that Kahoot.
Our Kahoot's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's monthly trivia, and then every other month I have a book club, a virtual book club with a bunch of patrons. And the first month we talked about the Side Changeling series. The second one, we talked about Alyssa Cole's Reluctant Royals series. And it's just like, it's so fun.
What Patreon levels do they have to be at the
So
things?
For trivia, it's Friendship Boner and up, which is $10 and up. And then for book club, it's Feminist Boner and up. So 15 and up.
Yeah. So if you're like interested, get on. This is we're doing an ad for ourselves right now. If
I
you're
guess
interested,
we are.
get on that.
Yeah.
But those are new things we're doing. New merch. We've got new merch.
New merch.
We had our merch contest.
Yeah.
We had winners
Yeah, we did.
that won the contest, and now they're on the merch. So that was a success. Get that merch.
Yeah. We had 2 listeners win the merch challenge. It was very, very exciting. One of those listeners is a professional graphic designer, and her name is Jillian Gindy. And you can find her on Facebooks, and maybe she's taking commissions. I don't know. But if you like that little octopus coming out of a bathtub situation, which I nearly died over, you should hire Jillian if she's got time for you. I don't know. She's very talented. She might not have time.
And our other winner was Al.
Yeah, Al Rosenberg.
So thank you. Now we have new merch for this year. That was great.
Yeah.
Big success. Newsletter success. Sign up for our newsletter. There's a newsletter now with like extras and author spotlights and
we do we answer questions every month. Erin and I do listener questions. You get the inside scoop. The newsletter people knew about Bonkers Romance before all the public did. Patreon knew before newsletter people, but still.
Right.
You get sneak peeks in the newsletter.
Natalie revamped our website, which was really nice.
Big
We've
success
got a whole
there.
new website, not the clunky bad one that I had made when I could spare a moment.
Was beautiful.
It was fine. It was
serviceable.
Serviceable. I was about to say serviceable too. It was a tolerable, fine website that did have the necessary links on it. But now it's like a beautiful, wonderful website that is like nice to look at and has like mobile capabilities. Fundraising. We continued with our Read Black Romance merch. We need to announce a new charity for the Read Black Romance merch this year, which we have not done yet. But also, didn't we do the Blue Georgia thing this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because it would have been October and then the election and then it was after the election.
Yeah.
You guys, if you weren't around for this,
holy balls.
That romance fundraiser for turning Georgia blue. Well, it was just to get access to voting. It wasn't even partisan. It was just getting more voting access. The vote. Yeah. People like really wanted to come on our podcast. We were just like,
I was
be a guest on our podcast. Maybe that'll generate $5. Like $2,000 we raised for that thing.
We technically raised more than $5,000 because we offered it to the second place person as well.
Oh, right.
As long as she made a matching bid.
And she came on the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, you're welcome, Georgia.
Yeah.
That's
you're welcome,
what I have to say about that.
Democracy, I feel like.
Yes. Last year was the first year we did a January hiatus
Yes.
I felt that it
That
was
was a
very
big success.
successful. We
Uh-huh.
will be doing it again this year.
Yes, we will.
Sorry to you, listener. It was very
I'm
successful.
Very excited
for
about it.
us, Erin and Melody.
That's right.
Because
And
what the
patrons.
January hiatus means is that we're not like is what January hiatus really is a December hiatus for us. Is a holiday hiatus.
Sort of. Yeah.
Because then we don't really have to record those last like 2 weeks in December, which is like
Mhm.
a godsend. It's really
Right.
nice. It allows us to travel and spend time with our families, and man, that
And
was
like
nice
be
last
people
year.
a tiny bit.
Yes.
That was kind of nuts.
You like
And patrons got all that bonus content because I couldn't stop reading Ruby Dixon books and Katrina Jackson books. And
We did kind of fuck it up by recording a lot during the hiatus.
We did.
Just for Patreon last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was like, that's fun times.
It was fun.
That's no pressure.
Yeah, especially for me, because I didn't read any of the books. I just had
Yeah.
to sit here and listen to you.
Yeah.
Laugh.
It's good
and
stuff.
ask questions. How many arms they have? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Is Catman ?
Not understand. Pheromone? St. Vincent's Day? Inaugural St. Vincent Day this year?
Huge success.
Huge success.
Gonna do
We
it
did
again.
it. Yes.
It's an annual thing now.
It is.
We're doing it.
On
April 2nd.
Second.
I think it's April 2nd.
Google up when Derek Craven Day is, and then
reverse
go ahead
it.
and reverse those two numbers. And that's. I think February 4th is Derek Craven Day.
Yeah, so
which
April
is a Fated
2nd is
Mates
ours.
holiday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Also, this is kind of a personal update, but I listened to last year's show
Yeah.
in preparation, and I had said that we weren't doing the Instagram thing where I had to take a picture of my own iPad anymore.
Oh,
And that was
right.
primarily because I had lost my iPad and I was just operating on my Kindle Paperwhite now.
Right?
Now, 1 year later, I have lost that Kindle Paperwhite, and I have been forced to use my iPad to read, and I don't like it. I really. So if you have seen my Kindle Paperwhite,
Lost your Kindle paper.
you know what happened? I told you the story about the dentist.
Yeah.
If you, listener, if you know where my Kindle Paperwhite is, if you
Please
could just
email
like.
us.
Because I can't read my iPad in the hot tub, and I know that's the most champagne fucking problem, but it's just really like it's getting to be winter, and I just want to read my iPads in the hot tub, and I can't because it's not waterproof.
Indeed.
It gets
I
steamy
mean,
in the wintertime in the
I
hot
hear
tub.
that. Wow.
Yep.
Tough stuff
Yep.
over there, Erin.
It's
Tough
hard
times.
to be me. It really is. It really is. All right. Let us now. Oh, wait. Let us thank our non-author guests who came on to help us out this year.
Yes.
To be filler for when usually I couldn't do an episode, or to do crossovers with us.
Yeah.
So first, thank you, Sarah Wendell, for coming on to do Nicholas Lords of the Satyr with us.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Sarah Wendell, for bringing so many good, wonderful, necessary things into my life. Because not only was it The Lords of the Satyr, which I read all of them, but then she also introduced us to Sex Planet.
Sex Planet, which
When we
was
went
an
on their
episode
show.
we did for Smart Bitches Trashy
Yeah.
Podcast. Smart Podcast Trashy Books.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't think we released it on our platform. I think it's just over there.
It's just over there.
So go find that episode if you have only
I'll
listened
link
to
it
our
in the show notes because you need it.
It's so good. It was so super fun, and they were so fun. And it generated that merch that said "Stay Golden Horny Girl" on it.
Yeah, which was for charity.
Oh yeah, we raised a bunch of money for
Yeah.
domestic violence victims or something like that, right?
We raised
I
like
should have put that up in
$1,200 for
fundraising.
domestic
Sorry,
violence.
I forgot. But I didn't forget how soft and comfy that t-shirt is. I love that shirt. Yeah.
I love that shirt.
Mm-hmm. It's a great sleep shirt. It's not a like wear to the DMV shirt, but it is a great shirt to sleep in because it does say "Stay Golden Horny Girl" on it.
I do wear it out.
Oh, okay.
Just wherever really is where I wear it. But not everyone is a Melody.
Sure.
But also, Sarah Wendell is an author, and so you need to go check out her books.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. She's written Beyond Heaving Bosoms, and she has a Hanukkah romance, I think.
I completely forgot, and I feel like such a dick now that I put her, because I was thinking of her as a podcaster, and so I put her on the list of like podcasters that we crossed over with.
She's just so multifaceted. Sarah. It's really hard to keep track of because she does fucking everything, and she does everything well.
Yes. Ugh. The next person I know for a fact is not an author.
That's right.
And it is my friend Cole, who came on to do Notting Hill and also Match Play, which was one of the worst books I've ever read. Thank you, Cole, for coming onto the show and reading that book, which was bad. It was a bad in every way a book can be bad. Yep. It was bad. Mm-hmm. Danny from the Ice Planet podcast and Black Chicklet came on to do Sylvie's Love with you. Thank you, Danny.
What a great, great movie. What a great episode. What a great human is Danny.
I'm happy she came on to do that episode, not only because we love Danny, but also because just seeing the trailer for Sylvie's Love, I was not sure if that was going to end happy. And so I avoided it because I had a bad feeling. Like it just seemed like...
It seemed like it might have been a bait and switch.
Yeah, it was too sugary in the trailer, and I was like, no, that's not how it's going to end bad. So I'm really glad that you guys screened that for me so that I could watch it and be happy.
Because it is a good movie.
Lauren came on.
For
the Highlanders
Touch. She was the runner-up to the Democracy auction, and it was mostly because, like, the internets were mean to her for a little while. Mm-hmm. And she introduced me to Karen Marie Moaning, which is one of the nicest things anybody's ever done for me. Ever.
So basically that auction, like, there were two people that were fighting tooth and nail to the end. Like, it was two numbers.
It was like multiple overtimes.
Mm-hmm. And we were like watching it like a hawk. And then just like at the last minute, the winner,
author Clive Rose,
swooped in, got it. And Lauren was like, and she had posted in the cult, like, hey, I was the second place. So we said, if you make the donation, you can come on. But it was kind of cool to see like them competing for it. And then also Clive Rose came on, but I wasn't sure if their episode's going to air in this fiscal year or next.
It is going to be next fiscal year.
Okay.
It's actually going to be...
We should mention her.
I think like next week or the week after is going to be Clive Rose's. So that is also a success. We did record that episode.
Yeah, we recorded. So thank you, Clive Rose.
Thank you, Clive
for
Rose.
making your donation and then coming onto the show. It has been recorded.
It has.
And she's an author.
Yes.
And what book did you guys read? Or what movie did you watch?
We did Pride, Prejudice, and Motherfucking Zombies.
The book?
No, the movie. So good. So fun.
I have never seen it.
Oh my God. It's so good.
Is it? Okay,
it's very clever.
And then we crossed over with some podcasts, which was very nice.
Really fun.
Make Out Already swooped in for us when we needed it and did, whatchamacallit, the time travel boy.
Mm-hmm. About Time. And I was on their show twice.
And Melody did their show twice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have not been a part of this at all, and I'm very jealous. Hi, Make Out Already. If you're listening, like, I'm a nice person too, but like, it just hasn't worked out. Wildly Tarot came on, and we did the Wolfie Wolf Boy.
Yeah, and we got to talk about their tarot art book.
Yes,
because
the
Esther
History
and
of
Holly
Tarot book, very
wrote
good.
A whole History of Tarot art book.
And Overdue. Thanks, boys. What an unexpected delight.
Pals, you're the greatest. Love you.
And you know what?
Big fans.
Like, I didn't know this when we recorded with Overdue, which is like, I looked them up. I listened to their, now I can't remember which one I listened to before the podcast, but their 50 Shades and their Christmas, Alexa Riley episode. But I didn't realize that like everyone knows about the Overdue podcast. I recently went to a wedding. I went to a wedding the week after that one came out.
Yeah.
And somebody was introducing me as my podcaster friend, which is strange.
That is strange.
And they were like, "Oh, like what kind of things do you do?" And they looked up the thing and they went, "Oh, you just did a episode with Overdue podcast?" And then like a bunch of people were like, "Wow, you must have a really successful podcast if you did an episode with Overdue podcast," because everyone had listened to Overdue, which I thought was great. Really. And I was like, "Yeah, they basically begged us to do it."
Stop it!
That's how big we are.
No, Andrew and Craig, big fans. Can't wait to cross over
I want to do
again.
another crossover with them. Mm-hmm. They were unexpected delight. We were very nervous about doing romance with boys.
Yeah,
and
it's
they were
nerve-wracking, and they were so wonderful.
Especially literature boys. You just never know what you're getting.
Exactly.
And they were the best.
Yeah.
The best. All right.
Oh, hey, HBs. I don't know if you've heard, but we have a Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you get over 150 bonus episodes, most of which include Erin, videos of regular episodes, author hangouts, and so much more. Do you want to hear Erin and I recap every single episode of Crash Landing on You? What about a little film called Psycho Stripper? Do you want more recaps of ridiculous Thanksgiving and other holiday books and movies? And how do you feel about Naima Simone and I recapping amazing reality TV? All of that and more is on the Patreon. There's so much content at your fingertips as soon as you sign up. Seriously, hours and hours. Anyway, it's patreon.com/Heaving Bosoms Podcast if you want to check it out. And of course, that link is in the show notes. Keep being a badass.
Author Watch.
Yes.
This is where we talk about our goals to become best friends with famous authors and whether or not they were working out. Last year, we talked about having slid into the DMs of many authors, including Alicia Rye, CeeLo, Talia Hibbert. This year, we successfully had Alicia Rye come on the show. So that's
Holy shit.
So we're one step away from a legit friendship, probably.
I feel like maybe, you know.
Yeah. CeeLo came on the show to do the Christmas thing, and then Lo came back to do Chloe, and then she brought Kate Claiborne, which was nice. Now she's into our bosoms, which is like completely unexpected.
I know.
We didn't even have to try for that. She just like Lo just brought her along, which was great. We're like legit friends with Lo now and Christina and Katie Robert.
And Katie
so like
Robert.
we friends, like legit friends.
Legit friends. Text friends.
Like if somebody said, Are you friends with them? They would probably be like, yeah, we're friends.
I would certainly say so. But mostly it's wonderful because they're just absolutely perfect humans.
And Katie Robert, aforementioned best friend of ours, dedicated a book to us. and that book was a fantastic fucking book that's in like bookstores and stuff. And then you open it up and it says for Melanie and Erin. And then you read it. Then when you read the book, it's not only good, but there's fucking little inside jokes all over the place for if you listen to the podcast, which is fucking nuts.
Nuts. Oh my God. And it's a Hades and Persephone retelling, which is like all of my catnip. And there's public sex. Like, listen, Katie.
It's everything we've ever wanted.
You've brought very much joy into my life. Like, you know, before we were friends. And now I like can't even, I'm like beside myself. I also got to see the cover of her monster romance. Oh boy, that monster.
Which was kind of from a conversation that we had on the show.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't recorded. I don't remember. But we were all talking about how cool it would be if there were like 80s throwback covers for like paranormals. And then she did it.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so cool. And she tweeted that it was from that conversation. So like, my God, I can't.
I can't.
Okay. If I would have known when I was reading those O'Malleys that this story would culminate in her dedicating a book to me and you, I would just die. If I could go back to past Erin and tell past Erin that, past Erin would slap future Erin in the face and say, "You're not from the future. Like, get out of here, cyborg.
Don't lie to me."
Yeah. I'd be like, nope. Like, future Erin could tell past Erin about, like, the global pandemic and how Donald Trump was president and, like, a lot of unbelievable stuff. But when she got to Katie Robert will dedicate a book to you and Melody, past Erin would slap me in the face and shoot me because there's no way I could really be from the future.
She would send you right back through that time rift.
Portal, yeah.
We're
nearly friends with Cara Bastone, but let me tell you.
Cara Bastone. we love you. I think we made that fairly clear. Especially since we accidentally...
All right. We slid into her DMs, or I think she may have actually slid into ours after we loved that book.
Yeah, there was DM sliding of some sort.
There was some sliding into some DMs. Then our virtual assistant, Natalie, who is so competent and so professional.
She had a fat thumbs moment.
She was going through, because she sometimes answers our Instagram. This was Instagram messages, I think.
Yeah.
So some Instagram messages she will answer, others we answer personally. But she goes through them because sometimes we don't see them and stuff. So she was going through her Instagram messages, clicked on the Carabastone ones to make sure there was nothing she needed to follow up with, and then accidentally called her.
Video called her at 10 p.m. Eastern time.
So it must have been Facebook. Can you even do that on Instagram?
No, you can do that. No,
you
Facebook owns Instagrams. It's a whole thing.
Okay. Anyway, somehow she video called Carabastone at like 11 p.m. at night. And she answered.
No, she almost answered.
No, she answered. She came up and then Natalie like clicked off.
No. Oh my God.
Yes.
I love her. What a celebrity, an incredibly talented author celebrity was like, yeah, I'll take this call. It might be 10 p.m. I might be in my sports bra. We're doing it.
Yep.
And that's best friendship there if I've ever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're best friends now.
So
that is a relationship we may have to repair, kind of like how when I told Sally Thorne that I masturbated on an airplane, which wasn't true, it was a misunderstanding. It's one of those rocky relationships that you can sometimes get with authors when you do a podcast like ours.
It's true.
Or when you're just a loser like us.
When you're just fucking messes. Okay.
All right. Let us thank the authors who have come on the podcast this year. We already talked about Christina Lauren came on for the Christmas Drop episode, and then Lo and Kate Claiborne came back for Cloy, and Alicia Rai came on for Band Baja Barat, which if you haven't watched that movie, it's fantastic.
You've got to watch it.
We got Jenny Norback and Andy on for St. Vincent's Day. And then Andy J. Christopher came back for Keeping the Faith to promote her priest book. And then Jenny came back to do He's All That.
Yeah.
We got Katie Robert for Mummy 2. Kim Lorraine came on and did Heart of Thorns.
Yeah.
And Alexis Daria. Those are some DMs we got into.
Those
for Miss Congeniality.
Yeah.
Whew.
Man.
That's a lot of authors this year.
I know. It's really nice.
And then I think we should also mention, like, successes-wise, we both started other podcasts this year.
Right. Yeah, that's true. You have Movie Briefs with Cole, which is legit one of my favorite podcasts. And I had to tell
an episode in January, February, March, April, and May. And then we took a little snoozer.
And there was a bit of a whoopsie.
And then we released one last week. The thing is, Cole and I said, we'll do this, but we're not going to stress out about it. We're going to try to do it monthly. If we don't do it, we'll just do it when we have time to do it. So, so sorry if anyone liked that podcast and then it took a snoozer there for the summer, but we're back on-ish now.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's about lawyer stuff and movies.
Yeah.
So
it's about lawyers watching lawyer movies and and they're two best friends. So they've got really, really good chemistry and they're both very funny people. It's one of my favorite podcasts. When the Rainmaker episode came out, I actually did a dance in my bathroom and then I texted Cole and I was like, new Movie Briefs episode. Yay. And then about 10 minutes later, I had to text him back and say, Erin told Melody have to stop podcast, watch Rainmaker.
Did you?
I haven't watched it yet, but I did stop podcast.
So good. Such a good movie.
Yeah. So
then you started a podcast with Jenny Norback called Bonkers Romance, which is far more professional and frequent and related to romance. And man, you guys need to get on that podcast just for the level of enthusiasm the two of these ladies have for Bonkers Romance. And also, it seems like that Patreon is one you guys want to be on because you get way cool stuff.
Well, yeah. So, well, one of the coolest things is that it's not actually on Patreon. It's our own thing because we were very worried about.
I didn't realize that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We were worried. I don't know. It's weird, like, putting all your eggs in one tech giant's basket.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, we decided to do our own thing, and so you can go to our website, and it's right there. It functions exactly the same as Patreon. I actually think better because it's easier to find our posts than on like the long blog that is Patreon, because we have them like separated out so that it's easier to find. It's really fun, yeah. And I get to squee over the most insaney pants romance, and it's also a recap show, and we get to talk to authors and other romance people about like what they think is bonkers, and that's really fun.
Which can be like a lot of different stuff.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It can be literally any subgenre, just like turned up to 11. That's what we're doing. It's so fun.
Okay. Possessions Watch 2021.
I got nothing.
This is where it gets a little bit... We're going to take it down, guys.
It's going to get dire over here.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Last year, we had a lot of people making crafts and stuff and fan art and stuff. None of them sent it to us.
Right.
I'm sorry. Oh, look, I made a Heaving Bosoms cross stitches. Where is it? You're in the cult, ma'am.
I don't has it.
Send it to me. I don't understand. Mary sent us a lot of items from Mexico.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Mary.
That was so incredible.
Jackie sent me ice cream because she thought that would be funny in the mail.
Oh my God. How did that go?
It worked. I don't know how much she spent on the shipping, but the dry ice was gone by the time it got to me. But the ice cream was still frozen.
Holy shit. Wow.
Delicious.
I did not know about ice cream deliveries. Incredible.
Yes, it happened. Yes.
Wow.
There was a good 2-month period where our mail was defunct because I thought that it had an automatic renew, and instead you have to go in and affirmatively say, I still want my mailbox. So they called me and they were like, your mailbox hasn't been operational for 2 months. You want to go ahead and pay that? And I was like, oh yeah,
of course.
I would. So if you sent us all of your possessions between March and May of this year, you're off the hook. But I don't think that's what happened.
I don't think anybody did.
I find it hard to believe that 6,000 people.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical about that.
Absolutely. I have not seen even one household's worth of possessions.
No. I don't even, I'm going to say, Mary sent us that box of stuff from Mexico. Yeah. I don't think that's everything she owns.
I didn't even think about that, but I think you're right. Granted, Mary's at the top of the list. Mary's...
Yeah, you're doing the best.
Mary's
But
amazing.
I think there's still shit in her house.
I think there might be. Her house is not empty.
Her house is... That was a small box. And, she's a grown-up lady. And I think she has other items.
Wow.
Yeah.
Conspiracy corner
Holding
over here.
out on us. Yeah.
Jeez. Anyway, Possessions Watch for 2022. We're starting now.
Get on it. If you are in the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult on Facebook, you owe us your possessions.
That's right.
Period. The end.
That's it.
For the privilege of being in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a service we provide for you, and this is your payment.
Maybe they're just getting everything boxed up, because it's been 2 years.
It's been a few years.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
All right. Hard Limits Watch.
Ooh, Hard Limits.
All right. So last year at this time, my hard limits were having sex against a window of a skyscraper with your back to the window, which would be hypothetically terrifying, and I don't want to read about it. Masquerade masks specifically during sex,
right?
Because they're creepy and lacerating.
They are.
Food in the bed,
Erin's
that gets on the sheets, or a lot of semen,
right?
In the case of the red. Sex that inconveniences the elderly was added last year, and also sex that causes all the angels to come at the same time, which makes rain on Earth. I don't like
she doesn't like
about that. This year, I would like to add 2 more. One is a bed in the forest that cannot be well maintained. Having sex on a forest bed where there
that
is
has not been like
bird
sealed.
poop and raccoons making nests,
Right.
and various insects and bad leaves,
Vermin of
bad
all
leaves,
sorts.
just the worst leaves everywhere.
Just forest dwellers.
Forest dwellings. Yeah, I don't like it.
Don't like it.
And also sex while eating curry sandwiches in a bathtub.
Wow. Very.
That was in Match Play.
That was in
You didn't
Match
read
Play.
that book, but it was real rough.
No, but I was slandered because of that passage. I was slandered.
Show me the lie, Melody. Show me the lie.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that was in Match Play. The other one was from The Sky is Everywhere, which the bed in The Sky is Everywhere was pristine. We just imagined that in real life it wouldn't be.
We just realized that, like, there's no fucking way.
There's no way.
That's doable.
You know, they're making that into a movie.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see that bed.
Yes.
The lead actress from that movie follows us on Twitter now.
No.
Fame. Yes.
Oh my God. I had no
Yeah.
idea.
Mm-hmm. She retweeted our episode announcement and then she followed us.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Wow, I am never on the social medias.
So last year, as you remember, you started out Kink Watch by having a Hard Limits Watch.
Yeah.
By having a hard limit for like daddy sort of stuff.
And then
And
that got erased.
infantilizing baby sort of stuff.
Mhm.
You then crossed it off the list because Katie Robert talked you into it via the Jafar book.
That's right. Yeah.
Are there any hard limits that
I thought
you
there
hit
was
this
a
year?
hard
'Cause
limit
right now,
this year, and now I can't remember it. I swear there was a hard limit.
It's really funny because last year you said the exact same thing. You're like, I know I found a hard limit this year. I remember I said it and we couldn't figure out what it was.
I gotta start writing them down. Shoot. I swear I found a hard limit.
It's like you want one.
I swear I did.
But we read some fucking nutso shit this year.
Yeah.
Like the Duke of Valentine, the Duke of Montgomery, like licking the tear and being like, "You taste like redemption."
Oh
like
my
a lot of
God.
shit went down this year.
Oh,
I don't remember you finding any limits.
Listen, I'm sure it happened. I just have no idea what it was. And that's hard for, future escapades. I need to start writing those down.
Well, let me ask, because I'm springing this on. Kink Watch 2021. Do you think you found any new kinks this year?
That fancy man robe really did some things for me.
So previously I have you down as when dukes tell ladies that they can, or other dukes that they can call them by their
first
names.
name, their Christian names.
Mm-hmm, their Christian names. When a boy goes down on you before he kisses you.
Yeah.
Or a lady goes down on you before they kiss you.
Yeah.
And also figuring out alien genitalia in an exploratory and consensual way.
It's quite the puzzle that can be very, very gratifying,
And so now we are adding
I think we have to add a fancy man robe.
fancy man robes.
Yeah.
That's really funny because I also have an ad. Previously, I was down for when heroes are forced to do bad things that they don't want to do. That when a hero is doing something to somebody else but looking at you.
Oh, yeah.
Last year I added large oil portraits of the hero petting a tiger or a lion or other large cat.
Uh-huh.
This year I'm going to add large oil portraits of the hero naked with comely furried balls. So it seems like the Duke of Montgomery awakened something in both of us.
I think so. Yeah.
I also liked it when he had just stabbed somebody and made out with her.
I did really like that.
But we didn't get to see that kiss on page,
I
which
know.
was rough. But I do feel like naked, covered in the blood of your enemies is also
And
something I like.
I could do.
Yeah.
Is all. I mean, I
Anyway.
think that goes along with war horniness,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, so now we're at the conclusion of the State of the Podcast
yes,
address.
we are.
But we just want to say thanks, guys,
Yeah.
for listening to the podcast. And thanks,
Yeah.
patrons, for patronizing, for being so
Thank you,
patronizing to
patrons.
us this year,
Yeah.
patrons. Last year we talked about how, during 2020, because of the pandemic, the Patreon was, primary income for especially Melody for a while.
Mhm.
I don't know that changed much in 2021.
It didn't.
So thank you.
No,
patrons,
absolutely. And actually,
for keeping us afloat.
I need to do an extra big giant thank you to our patrons because they are currently helping me realize my dream. I had a conversation with Michael a few months ago, and what, Erin?
I'm sorry, you're getting so serious, and I just ate a grape stem. I just popped a grape into my mouth, stem and all, and it was like, I'm sorry. Please continue with your very serious dream speech. I had a conversation with Michael, and
he said that, he wants to be able to spend more time with the kids because he really, really, really loves being a dad. And now that they're both, past the breastfeeding time when I need to be the central figure in their lives, we have decided that we're going to do a bit of a transition. And the only reason we could even entertain that idea is because of Heaving Bosom's patrons. So Heaving Bosom's patrons not only made it possible for Bonkers Romance to exist, because we've decided that Michael's going to spend more time with the kids and I get to spend more time actually focusing on my career and not just doing it in the evenings and weekends and killing myself a tiny bit. So Bonkers Romance exists because of you. And I'm also currently taking contracts for audiobook narration because of patrons. So I can't thank you enough because you've been literally life-changing from day one. But last year you kept food in my kids' mouths in a way that a brick and mortar comic shop couldn't during quarantine. And this year you're helping me to actually do the things I want to do professionally. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And also new listeners. I feel like we grew a lot this year. We got a lot of new listeners, especially after the crossover episodes that we did. And a couple of books kind of boosted us up, a couple of authors. And so if this is your first State of the Podcast speech, thank you. We like you.
Yeah.
We thank you for being new.
Thank you for being here.
Appreciate you. Okay, so I solicited some questions that people wanted us to answer, and then we're going to do some Fuck, Marry, Kills.
Yeah.
All right, questions.
Yes.
Martina asks, looking back at the 4 years of the podcast, is there anything that you would have done differently if you could start the podcast over again? And she specifically was talking about podcast structure or would you have done the podcast differently? I kind of think no.
Nope. Mm-mm.
We got early feedback that we should have segments, and that's why Bing Boom Bong happened, and we made fun of segments so much. That's why we're still making fun of segments and making weird noises. And looking back, I think we made the right decision not to have segments and not to make it very formal.
Or at the very least, come by our segments organically, because I don't think it would have worked, especially with our first podcast, to be and now we will do this, and this is something that we are going to do. We sort of needed to figure out our flow and what was important to us and what's important to the listener and all that kind of thing. So banter book lady love is sort of what we've come up with, and I really like it. I don't think I would do anything differently.
And I also feel doing this every week and then also having full-time jobs and other stuff, we could just read the book, make no notes, and just show up.
Right.
And frequently we do. A lot of times
sometimes
we have notes,
to.
But sometimes we didn't have notes.
Right.
It was all we could do to both listen to it on audio in the car or something like that. And we can still, sometimes that's better because it's funnier when we're dumber a lot of the time.
It just is.
But if we had things that we had to give stars and if there were other things we had to do,
the podcast wouldn't exist anymore.
Yeah. And I also love I know that when people talk about our podcast, they like to say that we're a book review podcast.
Right. But I like that we're not. Yeah.
And I've tried to be really firm on that from the beginning, that we don't review books. We just read books and discuss them or talk about them. And I really like that we made that choice from the beginning.
Same.
Because I don't want to be a critic.
No.
Like, we might like something or not like something, but we're just readers.
Exactly.
And we're not saying anything should be read or shouldn't be read or is good. There are certain, like, Match Play, don't read it. Match Play is a fucking terrible book and it's racist. But, like, if there's not something problematic in the book,
right.
to each their own.
Absolutely.
We're just talking about it.
No,
I think that's one of the best decisions we made.
Same. I really like the fact that even though people find out what we personally think about the books along the way, I'm not a book critic. I don't want to even pretend to be. I don't find that to be fun. And I don't think that it's a dynamic that would work very well for us in particular.
Right.
And I like connecting with readers in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I like being less formal.
I get sweaty over my, like, Goodreads reviews.
I can't do Goodreads reviews. Because
like,
I actually lock up. No, I lock up.
Yeah.
I don't have a Goodreads because I lock up and I can't do it. Or everything just ggets 5 stars. I just can't. I can't.
Well, and I also feel like the more I read, the more I, like, go back and I'm like, oh, well, that was better than I thought.
Right.
You go back. And so if we had a podcast like that where we were like 5 stars and then 2 years later we were like, you know what? That wasn't as good as I thought it was.
Right.
Didn't stick in my head the way then it's like, it's out there and it's like.
It's forever.
Yeah. As it is now, there's not really anything I've said about a book that I think I wouldn't stick by still. But I think if we gave ratings to books, that would be different.
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely learned a lot. And, like, there are mistakes that we've made that we've had long, long conversations about and, we've sort of self-flagellated over in a lot of times. But it's on the
show,
Yeah, a lot of times it's on the show. And I like being less formal also because I like talking about romance and engaging in romance the way that I experience it. And that is, as a reader, that is like, thinking of the characters as real life people. That is like putting myself in their shoes. That is, doing all those things. And so I, oftentimes we'll talk about like a little bit of craft stuff, but that's just because like I've been to college. Like I know basic writing stuff, but like I'm not a romance critic, and so I like the fact that we don't do that.
Yeah. And I'm not saying there's nothing I've said on the podcast that I like wouldn't. I'm just saying my opinions on books. I stand by all the opinions.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we've taken back things that have been like less than sensitive, and
totally.
We get an email and then an episode later we say, we made this comment, it wasn't the best, that kind of thing is different. But yeah, as far as like, did I like or not like a book? That stands. Oh, also Martina suggests that we do more wacky old school books. And I did just want to say one of the there are a couple reasons we don't get that many wacky old schools on the podcast. That said, we're doing Lord of Scoundrels pretty soon. But there's 2 reasons. One is that they're hella long.
They're long.
Crazy long. They're all 500 pages. All those 80s bodice rippers.
They're so long.
So long. And they're also hella white. Like, so they're also, and usually
white.
problematic.
Very
like, there's
problematic.
usually like some rape stuff or some race stuff.
Yeah.
There's always something in there. And so they're just kind of unwieldy in a lot of ways. And
they're just
so
exhausting a lot to.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They're just difficult to logistically do and emotionally do. And do in a good, thoughtful way.
Right.
So we do them, but that's why they're not super
They're not as prevalent, right?
Yeah. Emily says that she would like to hear us talk about interests that are not romance related, like an in-depth discussion of ice skating, which we did do.
We did on the Patreon
about ice skating. So if you do want to hear me talk about ice skating, specifically, we went through a bunch of different programs that are like hot and sexy and I like watching.
Yeah.
And also she asks, what about comic books that, she said Melanie, but I think that's a typo, I hope, that Melody enjoys. And then she's like, I'm not sure if she enjoys comic books, though.
I do.
She didn't know if it was your thing or just Michael's thing. So I thought, you want to throw out some comic recs?
Yeah, totally. So I haven't been reading as much in the past few months, if not a couple of years, just because I read a lot for this podcast. But I really, really like pretty much everything Mark Hickman has done. The few that come to mind right now are East of West is really, really, really good. And then what else? I love the comic Chew. It's all about this society, like this like sort of futuristic alternative universe where chicken is outlawed and there are people who have superpowers concerning food. And so like some people can see exactly what happened, like when a thing they put in their mouths died or whatever. And that's what the main character can do. And so he's a detective and he'll go and just like take the blood and then be like, and then he can see the whole murder scene. And he can only eat beets because that's the only thing that's like negative. It's just blank. And so he eats a lot of beets because he doesn't have to see the animals get killed or the this and the that. And it's so fun. We actually got a copy of that signed for our wedding, which is really, really nice.
You gave me a copy of that for your wedding.
Yeah, also that.
It's the only comic book in this house.
Nice. Nice.
Because I don't read comic books, but you gave me one at your wedding.
Yeah. I really like Saga. Saga is so good. It's basically like a space opera, Romeo meets Juliet, Star Wars. It's so good. There's a few trigger warnings in there for like sex trafficking and child abuse and stuff, but it wasn't something that I had a problem with, so I feel comfortable wrecking it. It's super good. There's a comic called Sex Crimes that's really fun. And
I think you've talked about it on the show before.
Sex Criminal.
Sex Criminal.
Yeah. And if the two characters are like having sex, they can stop time and do things like rob banks or whatever. And it's very fun. Michael just got me a BDSM graphic novel for our anniversary, I think. And I can't remember what it's called, but I can link it in the show notes. I don't read a ton of Capes and Tights books. I like Miss Marvel. I've read some Captain Marvel. I love a Wonder Woman. But yeah, I usually go more towards the indie stuff, and I'm leaving a bunch off the list, but those are the ones that come off the top of my head. Why the Last Man's really good, and it's actually being made into a TV show soon. So that's pretty fun. So there you go.
I was just thinking, I do have some graphic novels in the house, but in terms of like a comic book, like an actual comic book, that's the only one. I have.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as we move on or stop this episode, I'm gonna think of like 30 more. So, you know,
I think you covered. I think you covered a good. We can tweet about it.
Fair enough.
Speaking of tweeting about it, if you guys really want to like know about things we're interested in that we don't podcast
tweet
about,
at us.
You can tweet at us and we'll answer, or you can follow, at least me, you can follow on Twitter and you can learn all about
the military, ice skating,
bachelor,
ice
skating. Yeah. What are the things I'm interested in?
Oh God.
A lot of hot takes on true crime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if you're interested in that, if that's your demographic, go ahead and follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm less on Twitters. I'm just less on social media in general because I get a lot of anxiety about it. But I will answer any question that Erin tells me about if I see, Erin will tell me about all of it. So
yeah, I pretty much do the Heaving Bosoms Twitter. Even you tweet sometimes, but like
yeah.
It's mostly me, and then Natalie's mostly the Instagram at this point. Natalie and Mary.
I've done some reels though. I've been doing some reels.
Melody's done some pretty good not TikTok reels.
That's right. That's correct.
I should probably. My thing is this one is Erin. I think at this one is Erin.
Yeah,
right.
This one is Erin. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm at Splendidly M. I mostly just tweet when I get pissed off about racist stuff or child, like funny kid stuff.
Yeah. I get pissed off about more things, I think.
But, yeah. No, I get pissed off about a lot of things. I just never tweet about it. I don't know.
No, I get that's what I should say. I get publicly pissed off about more things. Erin P.
Hey, HBs. I started an Etsy store. Did you know? Right now, it's full of all the St. Vincent items you need. Because St. Vincent is thoughtful and cozy all year round. We've got a book sleeve to keep your books, planners, e-readers, or really anything else safe when you're on the go. The inside is fuzzy, and they feel so incredibly lush in your hands. I went round and round with the manufacturers to make sure I had just the right thickness. Those feature art of St. Vincent and Evie during their carriage adventure that was painted by the amazing Mayara Faraz on one side, and then I created a St. Vincent Would Always wreath on the other side that has a bunch of little Easter egg items in it. There's a St. Vincent Would Always warm brick enamel pin. It's like, if you know, you know. I designed a special edition Marriage of Convenience candle that is specific to Devil in Winter, with the help of HB Jen at Post Pouring Company. It combines dark amber for St. Vincent and rosewood for Evie, and it smells so delicious. It's hard to even wrap my brain around. So if you want to treat yourself or be the St. Vincent you want to see in the world by getting a care package for a friend, check out our Etsy store. The link is in the show notes.
Says, one thing I would like to hear HB feedback about is how listening to the podcast has impacted the way we talk in everyday life. For me, I find that listening to the podcast is like talking with my own pals, so I've adopted linguistic patterns from y'all and realize they have no origin in reality for people I speak to in real life.
Yeah.
Examples include concernicus.
Yep, that's a big one for me.
The pattern of speech that is like, why no discuss feeling? Missing verbs, mismatched tenses, etc.
Yeah, pluralizing things for no reason.
That's a big me thing.
Yeah, that's
to
a
do.
you that I have adopted, right?
Where does concernicus come from?
I don't know. I have literally no idea. It might be from somewhere or it might be my brain. I don't know. I don't want to take credit for it because it could not be me.
That's kind of how I feel about schmur instead of like that sound instead of like, I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
I don't know why I pluralize things that shouldn't be plural.
Because it's funny.
Probably
that's all.
Me being kind of like quirky on purpose.
Oh, or
that's me being
maybe
twee.
A little bit twee. Erin.
Yeah. But, what's interesting is, like, you do adapt your own speech to the podcast you listen to. Because if anyone listens to My Brother and Me, you're probably going to find that I have speech patterns that are a lot like that show because I listen to it all the time. So I think it's kind of one of those things that happens to all of us.
Yeah, I think so.
Amy asks, are there any books or authors that you really, really want to talk about on the podcast, but you can't seem to fit in as you try to balance diversity and requests and guests and that kind of thing? I have an answer for this.
Yeah.
The thing that I always end up like being like, I wish I could is like, I can only read really what we read for the podcast. And sometimes I struggle to do that.
Yeah.
And so I don't have time to like read for fun.
Yeah.
And it really super sucks when we do a book and then we don't have time to read the rest in the series. And that is the thing that really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like, we'll read
Sight Changeling.
I don't know. Like, I really want to read The Heart Principle right now. Right. We're not going to do it because we did the Kiss Quotient. Like, we're probably not going to do The Heart Principle. We need to like do other stuff and focus on other things.
Yeah.
But I really want to read it and everyone says it's really good. And I may or may not ever read that book. And that fucking blows,
Yeah. Not being able to go for the rest of the series. Like, I was able to read book 2, but I have not had time for The Heart Principle. And then Moonglow, we both bought right after we read Firelight, and neither of us had time.
We both intended to.
Yep.
That was another book that was like, it was really long though. It was like a 400-page book.
Yeah.
And again, credit to those Overdue boys for like reading a 400-page book with us.
Yeah.
But like, I would never have gotten to it, and I really wanted to read it. I really want to read the next one.
Same. Oh, I really want to read.
I
really want to read Winterfrost.
Winterfrost.
And I want to read the rest of the Sight Changeling series. I don't know if I'm ever going to have time for that. But that's one of the things that January hiatus is awesome for, because sometimes I have the time to like go down a rabbit hole and read whatever I want. But Sight Changeling was what I forgot to read last hiatus. So not being able to fit in the rest of the books in the series is sometimes really tough. Most of the time, it's really tough.
Just go on a lark and read something that might not be a romance.
Right. Yeah.
Like, sometimes there's a book that's like, oh, I would be interested to read that, but I don't know if it counts as a genre romance because I don't know how it ends, and like Goodreads not telling me, or like that kind of thing. And it's like, sometimes I get interested in something and want to read something. I don't have time to do that because of the podcast.
Yeah.
That kind of blows. Anyway. All right. Jillian has given us like a couple, like 4 would you rathers.
Okay.
Would you rather make out all night but not have sex, or have sex and not be allowed to make out?
Have sex and not make out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Because, like, you can kiss other parts of the body.
Yeah.
You're just not going to make
out.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's...
Get it in.
Totally. It's totally it.
Would you rather be with someone who always smelled like wet dog or always smelled like ranch dressing?
Wet dog.
Yeah, wet dog for me too.
Hard.
I hate ranch dressing. It grosses me out.
I hate it.
Blue cheese, get it in my mouth, whatever kind of vehicle you can put it on.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Ranch dressing, absolutely not. Give me that werve.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather have sex on a mountain of popcorn or a mountain of Skittles?
Skittles. They're not sharp. Popcorn, the kernels
Skittles,
can be sharp.
I don't mind the sharpness, but what I do mind is like if there were stickiness.
I mean, but the popcorn's still going to stick to you. It's just going to be less like it's going to be less tacky.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the Skittles sugar would be easier to wash off. Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like those popcorn kernels would like get into places like they do in your teeth.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Skittles all the way.
Skittles. Yeah. Oh, God. But if anyone is wondering whether I would rather have sex on a mountain of Skittles or with somebody who always smelled like wet dog. Ugh, food is so gross. Okay. Hannah C. wants to know if we have anything lined up for spooky season. Yes.
Yes, we do.
I think when this comes out is when we will be around this time is when we're releasing our holiday schedule, which will have our Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas books and also Christmas movie and maybe a Veterans Day, maybe a Hanukkah. Like we haven't really decided, but there will be a Halloween, a Thanksgiving, and a Christmas book for sure. And we're going to keep on the tradition now, I think, of doing like an inspirational romance Thanksgiving book.
Oh, boy.
I want to do that one where the guy is in the coma.
Yeah, I think we have to do the coma. I think we have to.
Listen, those episodes have been my favorite.
They're very fun.
Like, inspirational Harlequin inspired. And there's always like a child that like is lost and like somebody steals it. Last year we read Thanksgiving Groom and the Triplets' First Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
Both involve stealing children.
Yeah, it was very, very fun. I then created a song an original song that's on the Patreon.
Groom. Guys, if you haven't listened to Thanksgiving Groom, I had more fun in that episode. Ugh.
She does. Okay.
Dana wants to know, this is our last question, if we've seen any improvement in fat representation in romance since we've started, or is romance still the domain of the thins? I don't know.
I don't either.
But I will say that we've gotten accused of thin shaming throughout the course of the podcast. Yeah,
that's the thing that definitely happened.
So we do have our finger on the pulse of that, but I don't know if it's gotten better or we've just found where it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know. Like, so that's the thing, right? One of my early author loves in the podcast was Talia Hibbert, and her backlist is full of full-bodied women and like, you know, women of all shapes. So I don't know if
my instinct is to say, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, like what you were saying, my instinct is to say that it's gotten better, but I think in reality, I've just found out where to look for those books.
That's exactly
and who to buy.
Yep, exactly. Because I want to see characters that, you know, represent people who look more like me. Mm-hmm. And so it always takes me out when I see a description of like the flat plane of her stomach. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, nobody's stomach is fucking flat. Like they can be very, very thin and it's still not going to be flat. I don't understand that kind of the way that we uphold standards that just aren't achievable for 99% of people out there. Because like I said, even the thinnest person, there's gonna be a bump and a curve and a plane, you know? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've sort of gravitated toward those people, and I talk to a lot of people who also enjoy that. And so we've found that.
Yeah.
I think overall, especially when you take in indie publishing, self-publishing and stuff, I think a lot of it is still the traditional, very hetero, very thin, very white, very blah, you know? I just don't read a lot of it.
Yeah. But I feel like it has to be getting better.
Yes.
Just because everything is kind of getting better.
Yeah.
Maybe not at the pace we would like, but it has to be getting better.
Sure. It's
I just don't know if
definitely,
I've seen like a marked improvement from when we started.
yeah, it's definitely at the forefront of more people's minds.
I've been thinking lately, like, I don't know why we even need a lot of description of bodies in general in romance. And I've been thinking, like, when it comes to stuff like specific descriptors of size, like, you know, clothing size or breast size, or, you know, even if we're talking about the men, when it comes to like abs or muscles or dick
height.
size or, you know, like height, all these things, I don't know why we need them. And I feel like if authors would leave a little more to the imagination with descriptors that we don't need for the story, that we would fill those things in with the things that we like or that we want to see. Right. And it would be better. Yeah. But I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Are you ready? For Fuck, Marry, Kills.
Yes.
If you have the outline document open on your computer, please close it, Melody, because it's time for Fuck, Marry, Kills.
Yeah. Done.
Okay.
First
category is rich boys. Here are our 3 billionaires.
Okay.
Adam from Taking on the Billionaire.
Ooh.
Nate from Brooklynaire.
Ooh.
Or Jeremy from The Duke Who Didn't.
Oh,
from The Duke Who Didn't. So he's like a duke. We had a bunch of dukes this year, but I feel like he was the one where it was like his money was like a factor in the story more than any of the other ones.
I agree. Okay, so wait. We have to make sure a listener knows our rules for Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Oh, right. Okay. The fuck, you get to fuck them one time.
One time, never see him again.
And then never again. I think you can see him again socially, but you're not going to be married to them and you're not going to fuck them again.
Fair.
They don't die. They don't disappear.
Okay. They don't move to Antarctica.
You just can't ever fuck them ever again.
Fine.
The one you marry, you're going to marry, you're going to live with, but you're not going to fuck them.
You're going to cohabitate, but there's going to be no genital play.
A chaste kiss is, you're in a Hallmark movie.
A nice hug.
Yes.
Is something you can do.
And then the one you kill, you
just murder them to death.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we've got Nate, Adam, and Jeremy. I gotta marry Jeremy. I love Jeremy so much. I love Jeremy so hard. I really, 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 really want to fuck him, preferably against a tree, if at all possible. However, if I had to choose,
do not.
I will have a shirt on. It's okay.
Have a shirt on.
I might even have like a corset on, and
6 weeks of healing.
I hear you.
It gets so swollen and infected, you think you might have to go to the doctor about it.
I know your friend had a hard time. Your friend
who did tell me about that experience did tell me in detail what happened to her, and it did seem bad.
Yep. I still need to find out who your friend was with at that time.
She's no, you don't. You probably. I mean, how would you know my friend's sexual partners?
Well, I mean, we might be a.
I've never even told you what friend I'm even talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
who did the skyscraper sex and the tree sex and all these different
the iceberg sex. Oh. Have we talked about that on the podcast?
First of all, it was a glacier.
Oh, it's a glacier. Sorry. That your friend
had
sex on.
Slutty friend.
She just loves outdoor stuff. Whew. Sorry. Okay, so I would marry Jeremy because he is a light in this world, and I can't even. I would fuck Adam. I would fuck Adam, and I think I would have to kill Nate. Oh, wait! Oh, no! But Nate is so high-tech, and all of his house would be so convenient.
Yeah, you could fuck in that pool basement that was like the Batcave.
But I can't fuck him if I want to marry him, because he's got all the best technologies. Oh, no. No, I'm going to kill him. Oh, but he did do that. He did that really hot and sexy, like, what clothes should I take off? Oh, that was a sexy. Adam's very hot, though. And Jeremy's the best. I think I'm going to stay. I'm holding here.
Okay. I'm going to do what you did, but I'm going to switch the fuck and the kill. I'm going to kill Adam and fuck Nate. And the reason why
is that pool, that Batman cave pool.
It's not just the pool. I don't like an underwater sex. I think
nobody's having underwater sex.
Yeah, and I think that that pool floaty would have like fart noises. I actually don't want to fuck in that basement. I mean, I will if it comes to it. I will, but that's not like that's not the fantasy.
Yeah.
But in Taking on the Billionaire, there was this thing of like that Adam would be really dominant and like
and then he wasn't,
and then it didn't pan out, but Nate kind of was.
Yeah, Nate definitely was,
and so I'm gonna go with Nate due to he was sexier to me.
Yeah.
Next category. No, you can't go back on it. You've made it. You're locked in.
I'm so bad at fuck, marry, kill. Okay, here we go.
I know. That's why listener loves it. The next category is werves. We have Ian Ranolph from Moonglow.
Okay.
We have Mateo and the Wolf Inside from Wolf Gone Wild.
Oh.
And we have Lucas from Slave to Sensation.
Lucas from Slave to Sensation. He was a werepanther, but yeah, he's a werve.
Oh, right. He was a panther.
It's all right. He's still a werve.
I'm sorry. When I put these together in my brain, he was a werve, but he's not. He's a panther.
He's a panther. He's a slinky
all right, we'll call this
man.
Category wares.
Shifters.
Various wares. Yes.
Okay. Ian Ranolph. Mateo from Wolf Gone Wild. Oh, and he does and the wolf is a different, and they do separate stuff. And I think I gotta go with the variety of a Mateo. You know, because one night you can have several different experiences.
You can have two men and one
That's
nice.
One. That's nice. Mm-hmm. And then I am going to marry Ian Ranolph because Scottish accents forever.
Yes.
And I am going to kill Lucas, the slinky cat panther man.
Same answer.
Wow.
I need to kill Lucas because I feel like
you're not into a cat man.
But I didn't even think of that when I put this together. But now that you say it, cats are not my thing.
Yeah.
But also it just seems like it's a lot with him.
There's always
there's
many.
All the different
and the amount of driving. I don't want to go 2.5 hours to fuck in your tree loft.
A lot of Northern California driving.
God.
There's all those different factions.
Oh, man.
It just seems like a lot of fucking drama.
There is.
And also, hey, Lucas, kiss those boys.
Kiss them.
You want to know
you don't
why you're
get
in this situation, getting murdered by me?
Kiss them.
It's because you didn't kiss the boys.
That's right.
That's why, Lucas. All right,
Lucas.
God, I just love Ian Ranolph.
I know.
And I want to live in his like whole world. Like he has a lot going on too, but it's like more sexy and dangerous, and I love it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would fuck both Mateo and the Wolf Inside.
And they're still running water in steampunk times.
Yes.
Which is key.
And like he's got like wolf titles and human titles. He's like 3 different kinds of dukes and earls, and then
he's
also
BFFs
like
with the queen.
He's friends with the queen. Like easy. All right. Monsters category other.
Oh.
The first bachelor is Rourke, the Minotaur from Morning Glory Milking Farm. The second category the second bachelor is Pestilence from the book Pestilence. He is a horseman of the apocalypse.
Yes.
Diseases. He's full of diseases.
That's right.
And Zach from Halloween Boo, Ghost Boner, if you recall.
Ghost Boner.
And I just want to say,
I was that
looking
was this
up,
fiscal year.
It was this fiscal year because it was Halloween. I was looking up the names of all these characters, so I was Googling all the books, and I couldn't remember what his name was. Halloween Boo has a new cover that is adorable.
Oh, really?
Like, do you remember how we kind of, like, picked Halloween Boo last year because the cover was kind of, like, campy and ridiculous?
And we loved
it. And it had, like, a witch hat on. It was like...
Wasn't there, like a striped sock in there somewhere? I don't remember.
It was a lot. But now it has, like, a really adorable cover. So, like,
cool.
I just wanted to say, go check out that cover. It's cute. All right. What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? Well, So it was Minotaur. It was, what was the second one?
Pestilence.
Oh, I'm killing Pestilence. Because here's the thing.
Wow.
Killing Pestilence. Because he was so fucking vanilla. If you're gonna be like the diseases guy, I'm gonna need a pearl necklace minimum. And he was just like two pumps and a shutter.
You're right. I remember that you didn't like that. Yep.
Honestly. So, you know what? Pestilence didn't deliver on the promise of the premise. And so I'm killing him dead. I've heard that the later books do deliver. So, I don't know. Again,
Death just, we just saw the cover for Death.
Yeah. And then I am...
Another series I would love to read, I can't.
I just don't have time to read the rest of them. I want to read The Famine real bad. Then I would kill Lucas, and I would marry that Minotaur.
By Lucas, you did mean Zach from Halloween.
Zach, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, the ghost boy.
Okay.
The ghosty.
Yeah.
The ghosty boner.
I would re-kill Zach the ghost from Halloween.
Fair enough.
And I would fuck Pestilence.
Really?
It's just because, like, well, here's the thing. Is like, I don't think Pestilence is, like, that great. But I am more into it than the ghost sex, I think.
She didn't have sex with the ghost, did she?
He kind of, like, blew on her clit a little bit.
He did blow on her clit a tiny bit. But then he, like, sort of materialized.
Yeah, but also their sex was weird, if you remember, right? Like, remember he, like, splooged on her chest and then she, like, rubbed it around or something? Remember that?
I mean, if Pestilence had only, you know...
Yeah, we're right on the opposite of that. Okay. Actually, I think in Halloween Boo, I may have said that was a hard limit of like when somebody, when you borrow somebody's dress and then they come on your chest and then you like surround and then like give the dress back.
It's true. It's true.
Anyway,
should have at least had anal or rimming.
I had to.
Rimming.
You know what, she may have. Maybe that's her problem. Maybe that's not Pestilence's problem.
No, he was vanilla AF.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're kind of tied for me, and I feel like Pestilence is hotter.
I mean, he is technically hotter, I suppose. He's otherworldly,
but I don't like him
at the very least.
Like in terms of like, would I rather hang out with Pestilence or Zach? The answer is Zach from Halloween Boo, but that's not. I'm already hanging out. I'm already marrying Rourke, so hanging out is off the table.
Yeah. Yeah,
because he's the best of the three to hang out with.
Totally is. He's so much fun.
So
Rourke.
Now we're in a place of like just who's got the best dick, and it's close.
Fair enough. I just think that Zach is a little bit more GTFO. No.
Yeah, probably
not
but
GTFO.
He also wasn't.
That's get the fuck
no.
out. Which acronym?
You're looking for GGG.
GGG.
But like Pestilence was like made by God, so like.
I just think he's got a lot of hang-ups, that Pestilence.
And he's like he's like a virgin, right? So you can just like tell him what to do.
I suppose. He is more malleable, maybe. But I just think he's a bit haughty.
Yeah, because I think the vanilla sex was kind of her problem.
Maybe.
Because she could be like, you know what sex is you put it in my butt right now. You know? And he would have been like, okay, I'll put it in your butt.
Yeah.
I think he's more GGG than we think. It's just she didn't give him the appropriate instructions.
Fair
and
enough.
We both would.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Still going with Zach.
Whew. Anyways, all right, next category. Bad/insane boys.
Ooh.
Number 1, Sebastian St. Vincent, Devil in Winter. Number 2, Valentine, the Duke of Montgomery, from Duke of Sin. And number 3, Gu Song Jun from Cloy, who is not super insane, but he is a bad boy who is a con artist. He is the only time Cloy will appear in this.
Dare you, madam? I'm so mad at you.
It's hard because you want to fuck them all.
All of them.
It's so hard.
All of them. I want to have a foursome and then get down to the rest of it. Let me see. I am going to have to... I don't remember the sex in Duke of Sin.
How?
It was hot.
He was always like calling her his like burning lady.
Yeah,
and
Seraphim.
then like remember the bath and everything.
There was that bath. He does love putting a lady in a bath. And I love that.
St. Vincent put a lady in a bath too.
Yeah, I'm marrying St. Vincent, please. We'll want to fuck him our whole lives, but marrying St. Vincent. And then the question is, Gu Sung Jun or that insaney pants, the Duke of Montgomery? I don't know. I feel like he's really, really worth it on like the crazy but good at sex scale. You know, like he's in that really, really sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think, God, that robe would get me. Oh, but Gu Sung Jun wears a bunch of slinky stuff too. He's a slinky robe man.
Yes.
Oh, Erin, you're so mean. How are you so diabolical so consistently? It's like your superpower.
Yeah.
I am going to... Oh, man, I just watched the episode where he does the big romance on Dan and he tells her all the things about her on that bridge. Oh, fuck. I'm going to kill Gu Sung Jun and I'm going to have sex with the Duke of Montgomery on an altar of some sort. After he, like, stabs a dude right next to me. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to happen.
I really have the same predicament with this one as I did with the Good Boys. Yeah. Of course, I'm marrying Sebastian St. Vincent.
Of course.
Then it comes down to two men that I would really like to have sex with. Like, Herculean urge to have sex with both. But I do think that when it came down to it, I would be creeped out by the Duke of Montgomery. Oh. Like, I do think it would be all too much.
Maybe.
Because, like, remember when they had the sex and they were, like, saying they were, like, love, hate, like, that kind of, like, deep emotional eye contact, like.
Yeah, I don't want weird, that kind of sex with the Duke of Montgomery.
He did it, though.
Just shut that shit down.
Like, yeah, like, in my mind's eye, like, if you kill somebody and you're covered in the blood of your enemies and then you come over and you start making out with me. But in real life, I would be like, no, sir.
It might be a big trauma. We need to call a police of some sort.
We need to call people if, like, there's cleaning up that needs to be done.
Yeah.
What if his ghost escapes and comes into one of us? We need to get out of here. That's a thought I would have during the sex. Like, I just feel like I'm always worried about ghosts inhabiting me. I don't like that. Yeah, and like I love his fashion and stuff, but I would not want to marry Gu Sung Jun because that like his criminal activities would always be hanging over our heads. Do you want to do one more?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I will let you pick the next category, and that'll be the last three categories are supernatural ladies.
Oh,
Thanksgiving boys.
Oh no.
Or let's call it royals.
Let's call it royals, Erin?
Yes. I don't want to give it away.
I'm going supernatural ladies.
That's the worst of the three. You're the
I'm going
worst.
royals. I'm going royals because you're so coy about it.
Well, behind that curtain, we have three different Vanessa Hudgenses. No. We have Stacy, the Princess of Belgravia, Margaret, the Queen of Montenegro, or Fiona, the royal cousin.
I'm fucking Fiona. I'm killing the English accented one, and I'm marrying the baker.
Same.
Yeah.
That was very quick.
That was very easy.
Do you want to do
one more?
Do you want to do supernatural ladies?
Yeah.
All right, just know that the Thanksgiving boys you all want to kill, and you don't have sex or marry any of them, and it's really tough. Because it's Pat from Thanksgiving, Tucker from Thanksgiving Groom, and Kurt from the Triplets First Thanksgiving.
Holy Jesus, no.
They're all terrible.
Thank you.
None.
Kill.
All right, kill. Supernatural ladies. Evie from Wolf Gone Wild, Daisy from Moonglow, or Sasha from Slave to Sensation.
I'm going to kill Sasha. Oh no. Mm-hmm. I just am. She could make you
don't want to see those fireworks.
She could make you feel euphoric though during sex. She could do that.
If you married her, she would be able to take your sadness away.
My depression would be gone. My anxiety.
She could cure all of your mental health issues.
I'm marrying Sasha. Thank you, Erin. I forgot about that. Marrying her. Done. Uh-oh. Evie and... Oh, no. Evie and Daisy. Oh, no. I hate it. You know what? This is going to come down to my weirdness, and that is I always worry that I'm a little bit smelly in some way or another. And so I can't with Daisy. I would be like hyper worried about
she does smell all the
any
stinks.
smell. She's a super scenter. She's got that super nose. So I'm sorry, Evie. I am going to kill you and your clockwork heart. And I'm going to...
That's Daisy.
That's Daisy. And I'm going to kill Evie. I'm going to fuck Evie. Yeah.
Like you're going to kill all of them.
No.
I'm going to marry Evie. I like a witch.
Mm-hmm.
I think being in that witch family would be fun.
So fun.
I like them. It has like a very like practical magic.
So fun.
Energy.
I wonder if they could help me. She's got that sister who could help with my mental health issues.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's all right. I made my choice.
Another series that I would like to fucking read the rest of. So I've already married Evie, yes. And then I would this is hard only because I don't really like want to fuck either of them.
Interesting.
I think because I'm straight.
Right. It's tougher for you.
I think I guess I would fuck Daisy.
Yeah.
I didn't love Sasha that much as a character.
Fair.
But I would like to see those fireworks. But also, I'm not confident in my ability to cause those fireworks on account of I wouldn't know what to. I wouldn't like
get down
it.
there.
I would get down there and it would be just kind of like chaos. I think chaotic fumbling.
Chaos.
Gave it a shot.
You did. You gave it the old college try, and it wasn't for you.
I wanted it to be for me, but it was not. Sorry, ma'am. You're out there somewhere.
Fair enough.
Anyways, okay, that's it.
Yay! Happy
Now we're done.
Podiversary, Erin. This is an
Happy
amazing
Podiversary.
episode. You're incredible.
You're incredible.
Yay.
We're incredible. What a great show we did.
What a great show.
Thanks, listener, for listening.
Seriously, though, thank you. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for telling your friends about us. Thank you for rating and reviewing us. Thank you for all the things that you do for us out of the goodness of your hearts. And happy Podiversary to you, listener.
Happy Podiversary to you, listener. And we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
When we're scientists.
Yeah. It's going to be next year's Podiversary.
Oh, guys, this is your reminder to do the reading embrace. Also.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't say anything about the reading embrace.
That's going to come up soon.
It's October. Do the reading embrace.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Hey, you. Yes, listener, you. Are you loving the show? If so, please leave a rating and review in your podcast app. The 90 seconds you take to say something nice not only helps new people find the show, but it makes me super smile over at HBHQ. Also, I've had a few people ask, and the answer is yes. We are still doing the 5-star bribe. If you leave us a review with 5 stars, then we'll do whatever book you want. We're real deep into the list, though, so it might be a while. Lilas! Okay, back to the show.